Hello and welcome to Piano Shack with me, Woody. Thank you ever so much for tuning in. What we're going to do today then is make a performance patch here on the Modi X that I'll jam along to at the end of the video. And we could use the screen here, the touch screen, to make our performance, but instead I'm going to use an external PC software editor. That's what I'm going to demonstrate for you today. Let me give you a closer look whilst we're at it. So the Modi X, I think no doubt, is one of the best in class for doing your editing on, because it does have this nice touchscreen LCD here, beautiful colour that I can step through. But personally myself, I'm not really a touchscreen guy. I don't really enjoy operating this kind of user interface. So instead we'll use this PC editor where I can use my keyboard and mouse instead, and you do see a lot more information here on the screen at any one time. So this is it's a commercial editor by John Melas. I'll leave links in the description. It works for the Modi X and for the Montage. Okay, let's get on and make a patch.
This video is sponsored by these lovely people and by myself. You might be interested in my piano inspiration series. Links in the description for more information. So there are actually 3 editors included in this suite of software. You get first the performance editor, which is what we're focusing on today, where you can build your splits, layers and multi-timbral combis or performances, whatever you want to call them. They're called performances in the Yamaha terminology. Here you can see we have a multi-patch performances, and each of these sounds in each of the different parts is also a performance. So there's a level of recursion going on here, which takes a little while to get your brain around, but hopefully we'll understand that as we go through the video today. Now, also, if I click on here, we open a AWM. This is the Yamaha sample synthesis editor, where you can really dig in deep on all of the parameters for each of these parts. Maybe I should explain here. This is a 5-part performance. Each part is its own separate performance as well, but we can dig into this FMX as well. Of course, this has a FM synthesis engine built in, and that is fully editable here as well. Then there is also a live set editor and a librarian editor as well included today. We're just going to focus on this performance editor. Okay, I want to start from scratch today, so let's go to an empty user preset. We can let's go to user 5 at the bottom, 001, and that creates an init patch for us, which sounds just a very basic, choppy piano sound there, which is what we're going to use to get started. Let's talk a little bit about the aim of this performance, what I'm aiming for. I do have something in my mind. I want to have on my left hand here a bass sound, so I'll split it around here somewhere, perhaps on the keyboard. A bass sound, synth bass that's arpeggiated in a nice, interesting way. So I can just press a note and then the bass will do its own thing. In the middle of the keyboard here, I want to have some pad sound, perhaps layered with a synth comp rhythmic element or some other arpeggio there. We'll have that on this middle region of the keyboard here. And then up at the top, I'll have a lead sound so that I can trigger the arpeggio in the bass in the comp and then jam along with a lead sound up here on the top. And then finally, of course, we'll have a track with the rhythm sounds, because this instrument also has some fabulous drum kits plus rhythmic arpeggios that trigger the drum sounds to give us some nice rhythms. So that's what we're aiming for today. And then at the end, I'll give you a performance where I'll demonstrate how to play the patch that we've just created. And I have had a little bit of a dry run just to familiarize myself with the editor here. But we're doing this from scratch. I don't know what the results will be. Let's find out together. Right, let's start off with the bass then. So the nice thing about this editor is there are many different ways to choose a sound. I can click. We want to load something into part 1 here, so I can click here. And here are all the preset banks, you see, and in each one there is 128 different sounds. So we can go this way if we wanted to, if we knew in which preset bank our bass sounds were lurking. I don't know, actually. See, and there are many different sounds here. The other way we can do it is just to click here. Was it control click or shift click? Shift click. Okay, we can right click. With the magic of editing, I can make it seem like I actually know what I'm doing. So if we right click on that slot, we can actually search for something. And I happen to know right now that the sound I want is called big bass. It's over here, so I'll select it that way. The final method for choosing different patches is to control click, or control click is doing the same thing. We can go by the presets, shift click. This is nice. This gives me all the different sounds by their different categories. So I could have gone to our bass category, which we have down. Where is the bass? I guess that one, BS, is the one we are looking for. So here you can see all of the bass sounds that are loaded onto the Modi X. We could have found big bass this way as well, I guess. And we'll use this method of finding patches for some of the other sounds that we're going to be using today. But now I've got my bass sound. Let's take a listen to the big bass. Bit too bright, so I'm going to filter that a little bit just to start off with it. I can just hover my mouse over here and scroll down, and there's very little lag, it seems to me, between the software and the information being communicated to the Modi X, which is really nice. I'm going to take off most, if not all, of the reverb. Can leave a little bit on there. But I don't want this to play all the way up the keyboard, so we'll use the keyboard range here, and a very nice feature of the software, I can just right click here and then click where I want that to stop, and I'm going to click on the F sharp there. So up here we've got nothing because we've saved this area of the keyboard for the other sounds. And I don't need to transpose this. This sounds pretty much in the ballpark to me. Great, now we need to look for an arpeggio for this. So I'm going to go over to arpeggio parts. And on the Modi X, I need to switch on our arps. Let's do that now and see what we get. Normally you get some kind of default arpeggio that works well with the sound. We have one here called Chill Out. Let's take a listen. So that one's messing with the velocity. I can also tick this one to latch on, so I can take my hand off the keyboard. But this is not, maybe we don't want that right now. This is not the sound I wanted. So once again, I can, was it control click to go through the different categories here. So let's go back into our bass arpeggios. If I can find those in this long list. Again, we've got different categories. It's very nice how they divided these up into different genres and different instruments. Maybe some pop rock. You can see, I don't remember exactly how many arpeggios we have on the Modi X. It's either 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 or 7,000. I really don't remember. It doesn't matter. Many, many thousands. Let's see if we can find some synth bass riffs. It's a little bit bewildering to see so many options coming up here. Here's some Moog stuff, I'm guessing. Let's see what it sounds like. Actually, that sounds not bad at all. We can, again, click here to step through some different options. That's cool as well. But I'm actually going to transpose. Actually, is the transposition having any effect here? Let's go back to my performance and I'll go to the pitch and we'll transpose this up by 12 just to see what happens. Yeah, plus 12. That's probably better. I probably prefer, let's carry on up. We can listen to a few more arpeggios together. Could work. The tempo's down here. I can speed that up a little bit as well. Have that at 110 perhaps. Many different ways to enter the note values here, or the values of the parameters. I can scroll up and down with my mouse. I can also drag if I want to, or just type in the parameter right off the bat. Double clicking will reset it. So let's have 110. to latching again. So just the filter. We could do the resonance here if you wanted to. Cool, let's move on to the synth parts. Okay, for part 2 then, I want some kind of rhythmic synth comp part here. So let's click on this slot, control click, we've learned now. No, I've got it wrong. Shift click will give us the categories. So we're going to go to synth comp, which is probably SC. Yeah, we've got a few different categories. A few different sounds here. What about a pluck away? Picking some stuff at random here. Yeah? That could be okay. Let's see what arpeggio we have got for that one. Switch the arpeggio on. Okay, a couple of things we need to do here first. I've just realized. Switch the arpeggios off. I need to once again set the range firstly. I went to F sharp here, so I'm going to set this second part to start at this G and finish on this C maybe. But we also need to do the same trick for the arpeggiator, because I heard that when I was playing the synth part up here, it was affecting the arpeggio of the bass. We don't want that, so let's go back over to arpeggio parts. If I go to the ranges here, we can adjust what part of the keyboard the arpeggiator listens to. So for this bass part, I am going to choose F sharp, just like we had before. And you can see it here as well. Very, very nice. And then if we switch this one on and get some, let's see, should we go for some pop rock again here? Electro pop. And then I am going to switch the arp on. We are going to set the range from there to, I don't remember what it did for the other part. C, I think I put in. Okay, let's try this again. Put the arps on, and now I'm just going to listen to the synthesizer part. Maybe. Let's put it with the bass. Yeah, that's actually quite nice. I'm going to put the latch on this one as well. So if I go back over here, we'll latch this on as well, just like the bass. We obviously need to adjust the levels a little bit. We could do that at the end, but I'm just going to make a rough change to it right now and add a bit of reverb to this part as well. Switch the arpeggiators on globally. Where were we? Let's put a bit of verb on this, a bit more verb. That's cool. Let's move on to a nice pad sound that will layer with that pluck. Okay, I think we figured out now. Shift click, yes, got it first time. Now, should we go to the pad category or the strings category? There's our strings, maybe some synth strings. I see these analog strings that popped up at me straight away. Let's take a listen to those, and we'll need to, of course, adjust the range for these, same as the other one. You can probably copy paste these, but I don't know how to do that, so let's just do it the same way that we did before. From G all the way up to C4. Something like that. Yeah, we can listen to both of these together. Actually wanted something a bit more interesting sounding than that. Let's click through some of these. I think, use the up and down keys here to step through the different ones. Yeah, analog ensemble. It's a bit slow to That's quite nice. Ambient pizza. Pizza go. Let's go back to my, let's see, we're going through the presets here in this bank. Yeah, so when you go up and down, it's not stepping through the presets in the same category necessarily. It's actually just going through the preset banks. Let's go back to our category browser, shift click, strings. I'm looking for some nice warm analog strings, PWM strings. What's those going to be like? Yeah, that could work if we cut down the, boost up the reverb, cut down the cutoff. Cool. What we really want to be able to do is map these knobs. I'm not sure we'll be able to do this today because I haven't figured exactly out how to do it. But what I want to do is have the cutoff for each part assigned to the knobs here. So this will adjust the cutoff of the bass. This will do the cutoff of our plucks. This will do the cutoff of our strings. This will do the cutoff of our lead. I haven't figured out quite how these control sets work, so we might need to do that in a separate video, but I will have a look at it together with you guys and we'll see if we can figure it out. But now we have a strings down. I don't want this to be arpeggiated, I don't think. So we'll switch that off. I'm going to put the arpeggios on and see what it sounds like so far. Choice the wrong note to choose there. Get it wrong sometimes. Yeah. I think we might be onto something good here. Let's carry on and find a nice lead sound. You know the drill, shift click, we'll go to lead category here, and I'm just going to take the first one here just to save a bit of time. And I think that'll be perfect. I'm going to use the sliders here just to bring part 4 volume down a little bit. That's cool. I'm just going to verify we have the right. Those strings I might need to shift down by an octave, I'm not sure. The lead, definitely, since we're only using the part of the keyboard that's on the top. We don't want too high and screechy sounds here. I'm going to set the range first. We have it from C sharp and it can go all the way up. So if you had a larger keyboard, it would continue all the way up to G8, as you can see there. Arpeggiator, we don't want, but we want plenty of reverb, which I'm going to crank up here. I want to pull down the cutoff a bit, like so. That's great. Pitch, I'm going to pull down by -12. I'm just going to type that in. And using this global switch here, I can switch all of the ARPs on and off. So they're off right now, which is quite nice if I wanted to build up a little introduction. Let's see what it sounds like if I transpose down our PWM strings. Now that was too low because we were using this range of the keyboard. Let's find a drum sound. So I put the ARPs back on again. Using the sliders here, I have access to the first 4 parts and I can actually press this button to switch over to the next 4 parts. So we can get the right balance. Yeah, liking this. Right, let's do the drums as I said. So let's, was it shift click? Yes. Oh, that brings, I right clicked, so that brings up the search. I'm going to shift click, bear with me. Drums we have down here, DR, lots and lots of drum kits. Now I'm not sure if we should go for some acoustic kind of drums or something else. Let's go for some acoustic drums. That might give this thing a different vibe. We got a few different kits to hear. Maple custom kits. Let's have a listen to that one. And I put it into the wrong slot there. Damn it. So there's no undo, unfortunately, up here. So I loaded it into the slot where we had our lead. So I'm going to need to just reset that one manually here. Right click, go back to lead. Fortunately, it was the very first one, so no big deal. Got it back. Now, we want to do this into the empty slot, which is there, drums. I don't really know the difference between all of these. I haven't auditioned them. We've got brushes, that's interesting. Maple custom kit. So you can hear that's playing the different sounds across the whole keyboard here. We don't actually want that because I don't want to have the individual drum kits triggering whenever I play my bass line or my pads. There's actually a way to fix that. It took me a heck of a long time to find it, and I think it was in the arpeggiator parts. Hopefully, what did I do? I think you had to click here. If I hover over there, ARP play only. Let's click on that one. Now we no longer hear it, but the arpeggio is working anyway. So if I put the arpeggiator on, press any key. And if we also were to enable the arpeggio so that it is latched as well, we need to do that. I'm going to put that to on, and I'm going to disable the arpeggiator here just so it's super clear. Off for the lead and for the strings. I'm going to click it off here as well just to keep our house in order here. So let's take a listen to the drums again now. If I enable the arpeggiator globally, here we go. We could audition some different kits, I suppose, as they are playing. Let's see if that works. Actually need to stop the arpeggio, start it again. Let's find some electric drums for you then. Shift, click, and drums. I'd actually jumped out of this category and into another bank by the looks of it. There is some nice 80s stuff here that might work. What's the name of the Yamaha drum machines from that time? What were the classic Yamaha drum machines called? Let's Google that. RX5. Okay, why don't we search for RX? This is a drum kit. Let's have a listen. Yeah, okay, I do like that actually. Let's take a listen to... listen to that. Espencraft would love this. Maybe not. Just realised I'm going to need a sustain pedal here as well to hold down that pad. Hopefully it'll work. As I improvise with my right hand. Okay then, so... here's my little patch. We haven't thought of a name for it yet, so please take a listen to this piece of music and see if you come up with a nice name for this patch that we created. Here's a little improvisation. Here goes nothing.
not too shabby. Hope you liked it. Let me know in the comments one way or the other. And let me know also if you have a good patch name. Right now I've just called it Woody Demo Song, which is kind of boring. So yeah, thank you ever so much for watching, liking, subscribing, all that good stuff. I'll see you again soon. Cheerio.
I just wanted to remind you about my Piano Inspiration series. These are 2 lessons every month with the aim of broadening your repertoire, improving your technique and music theory knowledge, and bringing new, inspiring and creative ideas to your playing. See the description or watch this video for details.